Welcome to the Kurt Saxon Show, your countdown to the future. First, I want you to take down my phone number in case you want to call. The number is 501-437-2963. In case you didn't get it, here it is again. 501-437-2963. Sorry, but we can't accept collect calls. Tonight's topic is Preview of Life in the Coming Dark Age. It's a book review of this book written in about 1975, and of course the figures are for that time. Western civilization doesn't have to blow itself up to tear itself down, according to Roberto Vacca in his book, The Coming Dark Age. The University of Rome electronics and computer experts predict a massive breakdown in our enormously complex technological systems between 1985 and 1995. A knockout resulting in a return to a primitive way of life. The quality that sets Vacca's book apart from many prophet of doom manifestos is the logic with which he describes not only the coming technological collapse, but also its aftermath. In the following excerpt from Preview of Life in the Coming Dark Age, he speculates on the problems facing the survivors of a catastrophe we may not be able to avoid. It is not necessary for a few kilograms of hydrogen bombs to explode for hundreds of millions of people to be killed. The same result may appear by less violent and more intricate means, that is, by virtue of the fact that vast concentrations of human beings are involved in systems that are now so complicated that they are becoming uncontrollable. This hypothesis of an apocalypse that is impersonal, casual, and unpremeditated is more tragic than the other. My thesis is that our great technological systems of human organization and association are continuously outgrowing ordered control. They are now reaching critical dimensions of instability. As yet, a crisis in a single system would not be enough to bring a great metropolitan concentration to a halt. But a chance concomitance of stoppages in the same area could start a catastrophic process that would paralyze the most developed societies and lead to the death of millions of people. One cannot demonstrate, of course, that a chance coincidence of events, decline, congestion, and slowdown must lead inevitably to disaster, not at least in a developing situation such as I described. It seems very likely, however, that the most developed nations are on the way toward breakdown on a large scale. Countries that are less advanced than others, either on the way to modernity or still underdeveloped or just backward, will only be involved in the crisis to a marginal extent. 70% of the population of the world will not be much injured by the first wave of destruction. On the other hand, the more advanced nations will be more vulnerable to the harm that will accompany the breakdown of the great systems. In the dark age that would follow, their total population might be halved. Since these nations would include Europe and the Soviet Union, North America and Japan, some 900 million people would be involved, or about 30% of the present population of the world. The death of 450 million people in the world's most developed countries would mean that scientific development, technological research, large undertakings in civil engineering, industrial mass production at low cost, the whole organizing and directive structures that function in modern society would come to a complete stop. Along with a certain setback that the countries of the Third World would suffer, there would be grave secondary consequences. Manufactured goods, finished and durable products, medicine, production facilities, and managerial know-how previously supplied by the more advanced nations, all would be missing. There is one fact that will bring notable relief to many survivors. The grim problems facing them will at least be completely different from those that have been tormenting them in past years. The problems of an advanced civilization will be replaced by those proper to a primitive civilization, and it is probable that the majority of survivors may be made up of people particularly adapted to passing quickly from a sophisticated to a primitive type of existence. The first benefit to be enjoyed by the survivors will be the end of congestion. There will be too few people left in circulation to cause any congestion at all. One must point out, however, that many who now deplore the oppression, injustice, and intrinsic ugliness of life in a technologically advanced and congested society will decide that things were better when they were worse, and they will discover that to do without the functions proper to the great systems without telephone, electric light, car, letters, telegrams is all very well for a week or so, but that is not amusing as a way of life. To some of the survivors, it will be an obvious advantage that so many durable goods will be available in excess of demand. The death of the greater part of a city's population will make houses and dwellings of all types available far in excess of need. If before the knockout there had been on an average one car to every 2 inhabitants of the city, after the knockout there will be some 2 or 3 cars per head, and for a time the survivors will be able to satisfy their transportation needs simply by using one of the many abandoned vehicles. The car industry will disappear. Later, when old cars have been used up and there are no new ones, abandoned cars will be the obvious source of spare parts until new needs begin to renew industrial production. Then production will be on a small artisan scale, fulfilling small commissions or making single parts. Buildings will show a similar gradual breakdown, an initial superabundance resulting in the disappearance of building as a great industry. A small number of people, forced to rely on themselves, will be unequal to the adequate maintenance of the buildings they are using, and they will give no attention at all to those they are not using. Empty buildings will be rated for fixtures or odd pieces having some structural value, and this, along with damage due to weather, will cause collapses. These will bring down other inhabited buildings. In the long run, therefore, houses will be much scarcer than they were before the knockout, and new ruins will become a typical feature of the urban landscape. Ancient and noble ruins will be covered and obliterated by new ones in accordance with a process that was familiar in the former Dark Ages. Vandalism will add to collapse and destruction in cities, and inasmuch as it will not cause direct harm, it will not be punished, but will be one of the few entertainments still available to the young. After the knockout, as during the original Dark Ages, the distinction between new and second-hand objects will lose the great importance that it has at present. The only distinction will be between things that are effectively usable and those that are broken and beyond repair. Again, this will happen at first because of the availability of many second-hand things in good condition. Then new objects will become extremely rare so that there will no longer be anything derogatory about the term used. Further, new products will often be of much poorer quality than used products made of better material and in accordance with their finer methods of production. Before the knockout, the standard of living reached by a large number of people in the advanced nations made it respectable for them to buy books and antiques second-hand, but certainly not clothes. To acquire a used garment was almost unthinkable. After the knockout, used clothes would not only be bought or bartered, they would be heirlooms. One hopes that at least this new state of things will gratify today's detractors of consumerism and all who are annoyed, perhaps not unreasonably, that fashion should be so powerful in the field of consumer goods. A very severe restriction of the movement and use of cars will follow from the scarce and irregular availability of oil products and gasoline. As a consequence, journeys for pleasure will become very rare and will be reserved for the powerful or for tramps who will have to go long distances on foot. There will be a large increase in the percentage of people who have never moved from the place where they were born, neither for work nor for sightseeing nor for any other reason. The scarcity of travelers will provide opportunities for the revival of brigandage. Pilgrimage will be the motive for undertaking very long journeys. Indeed, we may expect that the new Dark Age will favor the revival of a religiosity as simple as it will be widespread and expressed in forms that today are unforeseeable. In the field of economic relationships, an important element in the modern consumer structure that will be missing at once is credit. In conditions of extreme instability, no one could possibly give a creditor meaningful guarantees of future payment with interest. It is very likely that at first all forms of money will lose whatever value they have and that exchanges will be solely by barter. Their intrinsic rarity will suffice to keep gold and silver coins in use, and the old convention would be reestablished whereby the weight of coins and ingots would be the sole determinant of their value. Every merchant would include in his office equipment a small balance for weighing gold and silver. Short-term advantages can accrue to the so-called developing countries inasmuch as they are actually subject to be colonized by or oppressed by more advanced countries on their way to regression. When the regression of the advanced nations becomes effectively obvious, their oppression of others will cease and the less developed nations will experience relief. But it will probably be brief because in the long run, much graver problems will emerge, not only because finished products from the regressing countries will then be lacking, but also because generalized armed conflict is likely to be the pattern, either between nations in retrogression or between those who have not yet advanced, or, at a more microscopic level, between cities, villages, or families, and between individuals. This is from the book, The Coming Dark Age, translation copyright 1973 by Doubleday and Company, published by Doubleday and Company, Incorporated. Okay, here I am. Phone number is 501-437-2963. And the address for the information packet, which includes the U.S. militia and a copy of Shoestring Entrepreneur and the David Koresh Last Testament for $10 is P.O. Box 95, Alpena, Arkansas 72611. And for $10, you get all of that, and then you get a $5 refund or $5 credit on either subscription. And if you'd like a set of these tapes, they're $6 a piece or $25 for a week's shows. And the address for that is Jeffrey's Audio, P.O. Box 326, Alpena, Arkansas 72611. Now, I've been getting quite a few orders for the Corona grain mill, which everyone should have. And that is $40 plus $4 UPS. And that's the same address. Right, here's a call. Hello, Kurt Saxon here.
Yeah, this is Bill from Hamtramck.
Hi, Bill.
Yeah, I listened to your show last couple of weeks, and pretty good show.
Well, thank you.
Okay, got three things for you.
Okay.
We're talking about canning now. I know last week I tried to get through, I couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
People called up about canning and whatnot.
Yeah.
And one guy was talking about the nitrogen process as far as preserving food.
Mm-hmm.
And he mentioned that he went to a certain place and got the containers up. Basically, to make it short, he put the nitrogen in, and he said he was using black plastic bags that he purchased through wherever he got them from, just from the supermarket.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if a lot of people don't know about this, but a lot of the companies, what they're doing now is putting an insecticide in. It's mixed in with the plastic as it's manufactured.
Oh.
And if you're going to store food in there, you got to get food grade polypropylene bags.
Okay, so I would say that any containers you get for storing food, you should get them from some a restaurant or whatever where they had food.
No, okay. What I was talking about, he said he put them in a plastic container that he got for 50 cents from a restaurant.
Yeah.
In a plastic bag that he got from somewhere else. The plastic bag is what we're talking about.
Oh, well, what you mean he didn't put it straight into the container?
No, he said he put it in a container, but he had a plastic liner that he put in.
Oh, okay.
From wherever.
So the liner could be treated with insecticide, and how would you know that whether it was or not?
That's the problem. You don't know. If you look, I don't know if you remember when you were a kid. I know I do. You used to see a lot of maggots in a garbage can when you went to take your garbage out.
Yeah.
You don't see a whole heck of a lot of that today. The reason is because they treat the liners, the plastic bags, with insecticide.
Are you sure of that?
You're asking for a big problem. I mean, the reason you're storing food is to have it, and when you need it, you pull it out and you find out it's no good. It's a nightmare.
Well, now, have you had experience with that?
Yes, I did. And I went to a couple companies. I'm not going to mention any names because, but there are some that do treat the inside of their plastic bags with insecticide. It's a bacterial spray they put inside the bag.
Well, would that be stuff that you might buy at the store to store your own garbage in?
Correct. It's just the basic off-the-shelf garbage bag, kitchen bags, black 55-gallon bags, and on and on. So you don't want to store it in there. What you want to do is go to a food supplier. Food grade is what you want for storage.
Well, that's very good.
And the other thing is the same thing with the containers. The reason they throw those containers out and they sell them for 50 cents is because the polypropylene and the PVC does absorb some of the texture, the product that was stored in, let's say olives, pickles, whatnot. It is absorbed into that plastic.
Yeah.
And if you store any food in there, that food after a while will absorb that flavor. And if you're storing anything for long term, that's the last thing you want.
Well, now that's it's okay to be very intricate with all of that stuff, but I think a much simpler way would just to be, go to your store and buy a pack of 1 gallon Ziploc bags, and you get your 50 pounds of grain and you transfer to those 1 gallon bags and then put them into whatever container, and it would keep it nice and fresh. As long as they don't have any weevils in the grain to start with, nothing's going to get it and nothing can get at it.
Correct. Okay, I got 2 other points real quick.
Okay.
Let somebody else through. One other thing, as far as you were talking about canning the other day, I know you mentioned one guy that had peaches out there and he had a problem with them because he didn't do them the right way.
He had a mental problem.
Right, okay, but the whole thing with canning is 240 degrees. You got to get it to 240. And the only reason you can get it to 240 is in a pressure canner, because when water boils, it boils at 212. Won't do it. That's for low acid. That's for tomatoes, whatnot.
Yeah.
You got to get it to 240. That's the reason for a pressure canner. Everything in the container has to be at 240 to the center. So it takes sometimes 20 minutes, 40 minutes, 60 minutes.
Okay, good.
And the other thing is, as far as getting lids, a lot of people don't know. You can have a ton of cans, or jars, let's say, your canning jars.
Mm-hmm.
Without lids, they're useless. And
Yeah.
I went through this in 1976. I don't know if you remember it or not. You could not find a lid anywhere.
I remember.
And I almost got in a riot in the store with a bunch of old ladies because I worked for a city service and somebody happened to find out from this particular individual that he had the lids, and he called up the guy because he knew him. I walked in and he put them in a little bag for me. I only had about 4 or 5 dozen lids, and I walked out and it was in a paper bag, and those ladies knew I had lids in there, and they raised all kind of hell. How come he can get them and I can't get them? And I'm telling you.
You got to watch out for old ladies.
No, it's just a thing that if you got the canned supplies, 400 to 500 lids would not be exorbitant as far as keeping in storage. People don't realize that without the lids, you can't do anything with them.
Okay, so if you can get them, they're cheap. Stock up. Buy 1,000. You're not going to waste them.
Exactly. And they're not going to go to waste. They're not going to deteriorate, and they're not going to get any cheaper. So if you see them, even if you don't see them on sale, just
and they're great barter items. I mean, you just take and buy several thousands. Buy all you can buy.
Right, even cost averaging. Just if you can only afford so many a week, go out and buy them and put them away, and you got them.
Sure. Anything.
Good thing, if I can.
Yes, anything connected with food is good.
Okay. As far as vacuum packaging process, there is a company named Food Saver out. I don't know if you remember the old.
Yeah, I remember that one. I haven't seen them on TV for a long time.
Okay, it was the old. You put a bag in, it sealed it for you. Food Saver.
Yeah.
What the heck would they call it?
Well, I know. I think most people know what you mean because it was widely televised on these half-hour
things.
things.
It's a new one out now. It's called Food Saver, and what it is, it draws a vacuum into the bag, and what it can do also is that you can put it on any kind of canning jar, wide mouth.
I saw that commercial. That's something. Does it look good to you?
I have one. I have used it, and when I had this is what 1994. Okay, 1993. I opened up a half a gallon jar of flour that I packaged for my wife, and that had a date of 88 on it.
Yeah.
Did you ever try to store flour in a bag from 88 and open it up in
No.
1950 and see what happens?
Anyway, does it work?
Yes.
Okay.
Like I said, I canned a package of a 5-pound bag of flour in a half-gallon jar, vacuum sealed it, and so you're talking 4 to 5 years of flour, just regular store-bought flour, self-rising flour.
Okay, if anybody who can remember that, because I just saw it once on TV, anyone who can remember the address, I'd be glad to repeat it on the radio.
Yeah, it's Food Saver by Tilla, it's called. And they have even a 2 or 3 gallon pail they make now, which has a vacuum adapter. You can put stuff in, evacuate it.
Yeah.
And it takes all the air out of the food. It doesn't put any nitrogen in, but from what I heard, just vacuum evacuate the air out of the canister right
well,
now.
that's a big
about
help.
5 years, no problem.
Yeah. Okay, thanks a whole lot.
Thank you.
Okay, bye for now.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Okay, again, the phone number is 501-437-2963. These days, it really doesn't matter what you buy. The cost is going to go up, and most things are good barter items. And here's another call. Hello, Kurt Saxon here.
Good evening, Mr. Saxon. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Who am I talking to?
My name's Steve. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay, Steve.
I wonder if you can comment on something. I was reading a book several years ago written by Anton LaVey
Yeah?
called The Complete Witch. And in that book, they alleged that you were a high priest of the Church of Satan.
No, I wasn't a high priest of the Church of Satan. I don't. Well, who? Are you sure? Anton didn't write that book.
He didn't?
Oh, no, because he knew me.
Uh-huh.
I joined the Church of Satan for a few months in 1967, but I was just a member, and it was a fun group. But when they found out that I was also a member of the American Nazi Party and a stormtrooper, they ostracized me. I was too evil to be in the Church of Satan.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I thought LaVey had written that book.
No, I think maybe his little girl Zena did.
She wrote the foreword, and that's where she made that claim in the foreword.
Well, you see, at that time she was a little bitty thing, 4 years old.
Right.
And so I doubt if she would remember me, except I made her a medallion.
That's exactly right.
And and it wasn't used in any kind of ceremony because it was a Baphomet, what they called them.
Right.
And it had a goat's head on it. And the goat had Mickey Mouse eyes, and instead of the mystical symbols, there was a lollipop and a Luger pistol and a cookie and various things like that. And they wouldn't have used it in any of their ceremonies. Everybody thought it was real fun, but it wasn't anything. It wasn't serious. It was something I made for a child. But no, I joined that and dozens of other things.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. I just thought
yeah.
you had a comment on that.
Well, people are just. It was something that she wrote. I think that she's estranged from Anton for some reason. And I have no connection with them. They were extremely interesting, but I got so much flack when they found out what a character I was that they didn't want me around.
I see.
So, I mean, it's sort of heart-wrenching to be kicked out of the Church of Satan. But it was a fun group. Of course, you can't do it anymore because it doesn't exist.
Oh, is that right?
No, it doesn't exist.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that. Okay, well, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Good night.
Okay, bye-bye. Hello, here, my phone number again is 501-437-2963. And the mailing address is P.O. Box 95, Alpena, Arkansas, 72611. And for $10, you'll get the U.S. Militia, Shoestring Entrepreneur, and the David Koresh Last Testament. Another call. Hello, Kurt Saxon here.
Kurt, this is Jim from Baton Rouge.
Hi, Jim.
I've been listening to your program for a couple of weeks, and you hear a lot in the media now, gun control, and they're going to collect our guns and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what's smart to do. I think that the coming catastrophe is going to be short-lived, maybe a matter of 3 months to a year or something like that.
That's what they said about the Civil War, Jim.
What do you think? That's the point of
my
call, was to ask your opinion. And before you answer me, I'd like to add one more thing. I've recently traveled to Central America with the idea in mind of buying me a safe haven down there.
No, your safe haven is here.
Well, I think you're right. After going down there and looking around, I don't see how I would be better off down there.
They'd eat you.
Well, everybody's always looking, for the deep pockets, or, you'll stick out like a sore thumb down there.
Look, and they're not Americans.
Right. So you agree with me on that point that...
Oh, definitely.
Maybe leaving the country is the way to go.
No, that's the worst thing you can do, because
Okay.
you couldn't get back.
Say we're all sitting here and, we've paid attention to you and some others, and we've got decent food storage, and we can make it through some period of time. How long are we going to have to weather a storm?
Well, it depends on people like you, Jim. How long will it take you to rebuild after the collapse of civilization? This isn't going to be a depression. It's not going to be a recession. We got over 5.5 billion people on this planet. And in 1850 was for the first time we had 1 billion. Now, see what's happened? In 1900, United States had a population of only 50 million. Now we've got 5 times that. So we got too many people. The whole system is on overload, and it's going to break down.
Okay.
And it's going to have to be rebuilt by people like you. I know that's disheartening.
You won't venture a speculation as far as, okay, yeah, we're going to have riots for 3 or 6 months, and then things will start rolling again.
Well, the cities will go up in smoke, and so don't concern yourself what's going to happen to them. I mean, you just write them off. But I advise you to get a set of the survivors, which, are you in a rural area?
I'm about 40 miles from a major metropolitan area.
Well,
and I'm somewhat concerned about that.
Well, 40 miles isn't really too bad because when the collapse comes, 40 miles would be a long way to walk.
Yeah.
And the people who have vehicles, they don't. They'll use up their gas. There's not going to be any more gas stations. I mean, things are going to get bad. Just consider if you listen to my little talk here tonight. When the bottom drops out of everything, then if you are several miles, if you're out of walking distance from a major city, you're going to be safe. And besides, you have, living in Louisiana there, you're going to have 40 miles of armed hillbillies between you and the big city.
I caught the tail end of your talk about the coming dark ages. I'll try and get that book from the bookstore unless you sell it.
No, I don't sell it. Of course, now the editorial is in volume 2 of The Survivor. If you order my introduction packet...
I got that address.
Yeah.
How much is The Survivor?
Well, The Survivor is $18 unless you are a subscriber to U.S. Militia or Shoestring Entrepreneur, in which case you get 10% off. And if all you want is The Survivor itself, well, there are 4 volumes. Yeah. They're large books. They weigh 2.5 pounds. They got 464 pages each. Regular encyclopedia of all kinds of ways that your great-grandparents made a living, cottage industries, trades, crafts, so on like that, food processing, just about anything that you and your community would need to start rebuilding and give everybody a genteel 19th century lifestyle.
So if I send you $10 for your package and $18, I get the package.
Well, I'd rather you didn't. Well, let's see. Yeah, okay, that's a given. Also, then you'd get $5 credit on either subscription when you see how nice the stuff is.
I'll get that in the mail to you. One more question, and I'll let somebody else talk.
Okay.
Should we be concerned about our money in the bank?
No. I don't cover that kind of thing. You see,
are we going to wake up one morning and our $10,000 is worth $10 or anything like that?
I don't think so. Because the government's going to prop up the economy as long as it can. They want to feather their nests too. Now, very few people in the government, even as high up as the president, realizes how bad things are because they just don't think right. They weren't brought up right. And they've lost their ability to reason since most everything they've been doing since they got into politics is just keeping their job and trying to get into office the next time.
Right.
That takes up about 90% of their working time.
One more point, then I'll let you go. There's a newsletter called Strategic Investments, written by the same guys that wrote Blood in the Streets.
Mm-hmm.
They make a prediction in there, or actually they quote some think tank's prediction that Clinton won't be in office come this November's elections because of Zippergate and some of those other things.
Well, I don't think that sort of thing is going to bother him because he got in with the votes of the most mediocre constituency our country has ever been saddled with. And they're not going to let him go because he's a major yes man.
For the committee.
for everybody. He promises satisfaction for both the dog and the flea, and so he's going to keep the ignorant people very happy. And really, nobody cares what he did in Arkansas. Of course, he's a crook.
Sure.
I mean, that's a given. It doesn't bother people here because I don't know how it is in Louisiana, but in Arkansas, most people just hold politicians in disdain. They know they're crooked to start with, but we just do the best we can to get along without them.
Kurt, I enjoy your show.
Well, I'm glad you do, and you keep listening.
Thank you.
Okay, bye for now. Now, as far as investing, my phone number again is 501-437-2963. Several years ago, Johnny Carson made a joke on his program, and he said that toilet paper was going to be in short supply. Well, an old lady, this is the truth, she heard that, and she must have had quite a bit in the sock because she bought several thousand cases of toilet paper and stored it in a warehouse. Okay, everybody laughed at her, and about 4 years later, she sort of came to her senses, realized that there was no shortage of toilet paper, and so she sold that toilet paper for half as much again as or say 1.5 times what she paid for it. So you can't go wrong in buying things. Hello, Kurt Saxon here.
Yeah, can I talk to you?
You sure can.
I have found that what we have done, we've been dumbed up, you might say. We have lost what? We've lost the meaning of words such as republic and am I talking to this talk show?
Yes, you are.
Okay. And I've been studying this for a long time. These people are so powerful they can change the meaning of words where they mean nothing. Like a republic is nothing but a contract.
That's right.
And if you elect somebody and he swears to depend upon that contract and you don't know enough about it to keep his nose in it, and you let a group of congressmen give away the credit of a nation to a bunch of private money changers, you're warned about that in the scriptures. And when people say that Christ was supposed to be crucified, when actually what he did was he tried to point out that the money changers were tearing up the system because they wanted to live off of it, just like a bunch of leeches and fleas and so forth. The Constitution has been thrown out. The Ten Commandments have been thrown out. I asked somebody the other day, I said, which is more important, your driver's license book that you learned to run by the rules of the road or your Constitution? And the man said, oh, my driver's license manual. In other words, they'll study that so they can go out in their car, but they won't worry about their government giving up their credit to a bunch of private entrepreneurs that have been ruling the world since Babylonia. And I ask people, why do you breathe? And just stay alive. Well, I said that's where your first line of credit comes from. Is it's in the Declaration of Independence, called the laws of nature, and nature's God. And if that's not what your religion teaches, why you better get a religion that teaches you some semblance of the truth. This business is so simple. Economics is nothing but a chance of using money to swap goods and services and have an IOU that's good and backed up by your own government. There was a Frenchman named Frederick Bastiat who stated back before the French Revolution that all money represents debt. If there were no debt, there'd be no use for money. But the bankers and the money changers tell you, oh, you've got to have something behind your money. You've got to have something in front of your money. We were told the King Midas, everything he touched turned to gold. It's a self-evident truth that people are good at economics, and when somebody comes in there and pretending to loan you money, can ruin your whole economy because somebody wants to get a leg up on the next man. You've read Mein Kampf, haven't you?
Yeah.
Well, it says in there the farmers are getting along good, and one day a money changer showed up and began to loan the money. He didn't try to disguise himself, but he ruined their whole economy. There's a man written a book called The Debt Virus. Have you read that one?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, if you get that book, he says they came into his country in 10 years, their whole economy was was really messed up. They had destroyed his economy. That was in the little countries in the northern part of South America, the Guianas, British Guiana, French Guiana, Dutch Guiana. One was Guiana country.
Yeah.
A very intelligent man. Money is a mystery, and it is an invention of man, just like language is an invention of man. We have a Bureau of Standards because we measure the universe with our own measurements, and we're responsible for keeping our own inventions pure. I worked in electronics for many years, and I've never fooled an electron. If I obey the law of the electron and understand it, why, you can make TVs work, you can make radios work, you can do all this wonderful electronics, you can make the computers work. I asked somebody the other day, I said, the richest man in the world wrote a book. Guess what the name of it was? And he said, what? I said, I taught my computer to steal. So you see, we really have to look at this as humorless, and all these people that swear to depend upon the Constitution, if we don't read the Constitution and make them obey their oath of office, well, we're going to have a democracy, we're going to have federalism, we're going to have Sovietism, we're going to have all these things that fool us.
We're going to have just what we have now, and it's going over the edge, see?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I understand that.
Yes. See, so what you got to do is you got to forget a lot of this high-level stuff because it no longer applies to decent people like you. You've got to think about producing something that your neighbors need and encouraging them to produce something that you need and have as little use for federal currency as possible. And no matter what happens, you will be a very valuable member of your community. And the more people in your community you can make valuable, the more stable your community will be. And then when all of these big things you're talking about have fallen from their own weight and crookedness, then, hey, who cares about what happens to them? They're strangling themselves.
Well, we had a chance. We had a chance.
Well, I know, regardless of what we did.
For interest-free money. Abraham Lincoln used it. They killed him. Kennedy put some in circulation. They killed him. But the news media is destroying our ability to even think properly.
Well, it already has.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is, you watch out for yourself.
Well,
because
I was told by my mother that, of course, I should be responsible. And she also told me she should never use the word kill. And we hear that all the time. And the philosopher Spinoza stated that hate was nothing but fear with an object. And so fear without an object is anxiety. And they give you all sort of pills for that. They're creating the climate in which we live, and you just simply have to turn them off.
Okay, but look, now don't be obsessed with things that you have no control over. You have control over your life and nothing else. And so stick to that, and let me go to another caller.
Thank you very much for your program.
You're very welcome, and call again.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Now, my phone number again is 501-437-2963. And my mailing address is P.O. Box 95, Alpena, Arkansas, 72611. Another call. Hello, Kurt Saxon here.
Hello, Kurt. This is Jim in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Hi, Jim.
Hi. I'm really enjoying your show. I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions about your product.
Yeah?
I've seen an advertisement for the Poor Man's James Bond Special Edition, and I'm wondering what is the difference in the Special Edition and the new Improved Edition?
There is no difference.
Uh-huh.
No difference at all. It's the same that you get from me.
Okay. And
if you want to buy it from there, you go right ahead. If you want to buy it from me, at least if you buy it from me, then you'll be getting my catalog, and you'll get a discount if you subscribe to either of my publications. And I'm the main source, see. I don't care if you buy from that guy or not.
Okay, but as far as the title, Special Edition, it doesn't mean anything different from New.
I don't know. Is that the actual title?
Yeah, it says The Poor Man's James Bond by Kurt Saxon, and then it says Special Edition.
Well, he must have added that in the ad copy, but there's nothing different about it from mine.
Okay, and I have a couple of weeks ago I sent in the $10 for your sample package.
Have you got it yet?
I have not got it yet.
It will limp along. Everything is slow. It's terribly aggravating. Just
okay, I'm wondering if when we get the sample package, if we decide not to subscribe, but we would like to, say, purchase the other published issues of U.S. Militia? Like we get one in the sample, but if we wanted to go ahead and
No,
publish...
you'll have, it's a subscription thing. I mean, like, call up Soldier of Fortune and say, can I buy copies individually? They'd just hang up on you.
Yeah, okay.
It's more trouble than it's worth. We're talking about paperwork, individual attention. We simply don't have time for that.
Right, okay, and
you
I've
see,
heard some people call in and say they got theirs, their sample package in the fourth week or something. I'm just wondering, are you shipping those yourself, or do you have somebody to take...
I ship them myself, but the problem is that due to the weather, you see, they go bulk mail.
Mm-hmm.
That's not first class. Now, like I said yesterday, we've gotten orders yesterday which were mailed the first of the month, January 1. It took them until yesterday to get here. So if that's the way they're held up with first class, what do you think they're held up with the bulk mail?
I know what you're saying.
See, so the thing is, you're going to get it one way or the other. If you finally realize it's not coming, let me know and I'll send you another one. I'm not going to, I won't allow you to not get it.
Right.
But just try to be patient.
Okay, well, you're coming in really nice here in Winston-Salem, and I'm really enjoying the show, Kurt.
I'm glad.
Have a good evening.
You too. Bye for now.
Bye.
Okay, again, the number is 501-437-2963. And getting back to the Johnny Carson and his toilet paper, now that woman made a killing, so it really doesn't matter what you buy. The price is going to go up. Hello, Kurt Saxon here.
Hi, Kurt. I was wondering if I'm very interested in your material, and I was wondering if I could get a mailing address so I could send away for it.
Well, I just gave it. You weren't listening. You got to have the pencil handy because
I got the pencil in my hand.
Okay,
I guess I was too busy dialing.
Okay, it's P.O. Box 95, Alpena, Arkansas 72611. Now I've been sending everything out bulk, and we'll be sending our next thing out bulk. It'll probably go out either Friday or Monday, and then from then on we're going to send it first class because there's just too much of a wait.
Okay, what's the zip code? I got everything, but I was trying to write it down. What's the zip code again, please?
72611.
2611. Great. I'll be sending it for tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, you're very welcome.
Bye.
Again, the phone number is 501-437-2963. Now, incidentally, the frequency, in case you tuned in and you don't quite know where it is on the dial, we just accident, 5.810 megahertz. Kurt Saxon here.
Hi, Kurt. Andy from Detroit.
Hi, Andy.
Hey, I got your package on Saturday.
Well, good.
I love it. It was great.
I'm glad.
I really enjoyed Big Mike and the boys.
Yeah, well, you better subscribe, and then you'll get the issue 1 and 2, and I'm working on issue 4 now.
Great. Hey,
did you like Clarence?
Oh yeah, Clarence is great. Yeah, I like Clarence.
Yeah, good.
That was funny.
Very instructive, though.
It was very good. Hey, about your talk at the very beginning.
Yeah.
All of civilization. Did you ever see that TV series Connections?
Oh yes, I have it on tape. I love it so much. I watch it every once in a while.
Oh yeah. I mean, from like the very first episode where James Burke goes through what happened in the Northeast.
Yeah, when the lights went out.
Yeah, just from one tiny switch, a chain reaction started, knocked the whole thing out.
Well, in this big movie we saw was with Henry Fonda. It was a moth got in the computer and nearly caused World War III.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't trust all these modern gadgets. I learned to use a wheelbarrow and I stopped there.
Yep. All right, Kurt. I just want to let you know that people should get them. I mean, that package is really good.
Well, I'm glad, and they're all going to get there sooner or later. All I can do is take them to the post office, and they are really tied up and swamped, and if they can't even get first class going fast, we'll think about the other stuff, but you'll get it eventually, no matter what.
Yeah, well, up here in the Northeast, some people didn't get their mail for 3 or 4 days when we had that cold snap.
Mm-hmm.
People are just going to have to be patient,
Yeah.
Give them time.
Well, I appreciate that they're anxious to get it.
Yep. All right, Kurt. You'll be hearing from me again soon.
Okay, thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, the phone number is 501-437-2963. Another call. Hello, Kurt Saxon here.
Yes, Mr. Saxon.
Yes.
This is Pat, and I'd like to know, you're talking about, all these people that's going to be destroyed. Who are they? I'm curious.
Well, I hope you're not among them,
Oh, I
Pat.
hope you're not. Go ahead.
No, I don't think I will be, because
Why?
I'm in a low population density area.
No, explain this. I would like to know what people. Black? You're talking about white?
It will be extremely democratic, Pat.
Democratic.
Yes.
Well,
yes. It won't be selective. Well, you might say it'd be natural selection. The people who don't have their wits about them, people who are poorly motivated, people who can't adapt to new conditions, people who can't learn anything new. A person who is totally locked into this system doesn't have much of a chance.
You mean all of our people in Washington are going to be lost?
Oh, well, isn't that a happy thought?
Well, are they?
Probably. If they stay in Washington, I would say yes.
Well,
I've
you
been
know very
to
well.
Washington.
Now, what I'm getting at, and I think you know too, I don't know who backs you because I know.
I back me.
Somebody's got to be, promoting their time, are they not?
No, I am. I don't have any sponsors.
Well, you must have really made a mint doing this.
No,
But anyway, I just suggest, because I think you got some excellent ideas, but I suggest you stay out and listen to Mr. Cooper coming up, because he'll give you some better ideas on how to do this.
Oh, I bet he could. Why don't you order my packet, dear?
Why?
I think you would enjoy it.
Well, I could do that also, but I would like you to listen to him.
Well, I've heard Mr. Cooper.
When?
Various times.
You better listen to what he's telling you, because the people that's following you is going to be lost. There isn't God left. Didn't you know that?
Why would the people following me would be lost?
Because they're believing what you're telling them. And it's so false. It really is.
Okay, Pat.
Pay attention. What is happening out there?
Tell me, Pat, what did I say that was false?
What did you say that was false?
Yes.
You said about all the people that's going to be destroyed, and that's not true. God put us here for some reason, not to be destroyed.
Oh?
Go ahead, tell me.
Oh, well, what about the...
That, to me, is a lie.
What about the billions of people that have lost their lives to no purpose in even our century?
Well, let's look back and see why. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Well, there are pestilence, famine, war.
Well, exactly. We've had that ever since when? But I suggest you listen to Mr. Cooper, and I won't keep you on the line, but thanks for listening.
Okay, Pat. Bye for now. Okay, my phone number is 501-437-2963. And the address is P.O. Box 95, Alpena, Arkansas, 72611. Hello, Kurt Saxon here.
Good evening, Kurt. How are you?
I'm fine.
My name's Rob. I live in southern New Jersey. I sent away for the packet.
Did you get it yet?
No, I only did it a couple weeks ago, and I know the mail is slow.
Yeah.
And that's not why I'm calling, because I already know that. I'm in sales, and I deal with over-the-road trucking, and I know we had no mail service for a couple of days, so I know that all that stuff has been moving very slowly.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason I called, this last call that you just had, that woman screaming about Bill Cooper and so forth.
Yeah.
There's some merit to what he's saying. He wrote this book called Behold a Pale Horse.
Yeah.
Which has all kinds of wild conspiracy theories in it.
Yeah.
And I don't believe in much of that, but the one thing that he did talk about was the Federal Reserve banking system.
Yeah.
And a few callers back, a caller was talking about a book called Debt Virus.
Yes.
And I just finished reading that just this afternoon.
Yes.
And it's a very fascinating book into how our money system works and how the Federal Reserve is a privately owned banking trust.
Well, we've known that for a long time, but you see, the thing is it Bill?
Excuse me?
Is your name Bill?
No, Rob.
I'm sorry, Rob.
That's okay.
What I'm encouraging people to do is to stop being anxious about things they have no control over. You have no control over the government.
Yes.
See, you don't.
No, I believe that's why I enjoy listening to your show, because you stay focused on those who are willing to listen and learn and adapt will make it. And you're not interested in saving the world. You have a message, and those of us that want to listen and pay attention, we can either heed the advice or ignore it.
Yes. Well, see, people in rural areas have a much better chance of surviving the collapse of any civilization, no matter where they are in the world.
Yes.
Because they live day to day. They have chickens, cattle, pigs, goats, things like that. Maybe. They have their own little ways to live. And so they know the reason behind their existence. If you live in the middle of the city, then you talk about the Federal Reserve. But if you live on the farm, you're interested in, are your chickens laying? Is your cow giving milk?
Exactly.
See, now these are the important things. To the rural person, the Federal Reserve means absolutely nothing any more than the stupid president does.
I mean, and especially the last few weeks, people in those areas, they've been worrying how they're going to keep water for their livestock because it's frozen solid and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
That whole type of thing.
I had difficulty there. I had to take water, bring a bucket in and fill it from the bathtub, and then take it out and chop up the water in the chickens thing and put it in for them every day.
No, that's. I
but
mean,
see, that was more important to me than the Federal Reserve, keeping those chickens watered.
Exactly, but the book, it is an informative book. It's written, the man was a plastic surgeon who wrote the book, but it's written so that it can be understood. Even a politician could understand.
Well, what is the name of it again?
It's called Debt Virus.
And where do you get it? Through
any bookstore will have it.
Do you give the guy's name?
I can spell it for you. He's from South America.
Yeah.
And his last name is Juliet Alpha Indigo Kilo Alpha.
No, that doesn't mean a thing to me.
Oh, you don't want the
no.
Okay, it's JAIKARAN.
Oh, I think that's clear. If they've got the title of the book, their bookstore man will hunt it up for them, and I'm sure it's a good book.
Yeah, my other question. I called once before, and your producer there suggested that I check into something called American Opinion Bookstores.
No. Oh, okay. Maybe he did. Yes, I don't even know if the American Opinion Bookstores live anymore.
That's why, because I called a few weeks ago and asked you some questions about the Constitution and getting an unabridged or an original version of the Constitution, and your producer, you were musing over where I could get one, and your producer stepped in and said that American Opinion Bookstores. And I used to work in a bookstore, and I checked some of my old contacts, and I don't think that they're in existence anymore, and I just wondered what the next step would be.
Well, my engineer is writing something now. See what he comes up with. But my focus is on the individual, Rob.
Yes.
Now, I'm not going to say that there isn't a great big conspiracy with some awful men pulling strings, but they're pulling the strings of a lot of morons locked into a system which is going to die, and they're going to die with the morons.
I couldn't agree with you more. And ever since listening to your broadcast, now I'm coming into my third week, I've been giving a lot. I've already made up my mind about what I want to do, and now I'm trying to put a plan together so I can relocate to a more rural area.
Okay. Now, my engineer writes to me, they're all over California. Call the Birch Society for the nearest local bookstore. If you have a Birch Society listed in your town, especially if it's a big town, they'll be able to tell you where the bookstore is.
Okay.
Just look up the John Birch Society.
Okay. Thanks so much, Kurt.
You're very welcome, Rob.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Okay, phone number is 501-437-2963. Another call. Hello, Kurt here.
Hey, Kurt, how you doing?
Fine.
That's good. This is Rusty in Florida.
Hi, Rusty.
I was wondering if you or some of your listeners might be able to help me out with a problem. A friend of mine used a process several years ago for taking the rust off of some pieces of equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, the way he described it was like a reverse electrolysis. In other words, where you would put like plating on something, he just gave it to me in the briefest of terms.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure I fully understood it. And whatever it was, by using low voltage direct current, it caused the the rust to actually just fall off the metal.
Yeah.
Where it was bright and shiny.
Well, now, I'm not too much into electronics, especially the basic stuff like that, but Volume 2 of The Survivor has a fantastic, absolutely wonderful book on basic electronics from 1927. It tells you everything you want to know about basic electronics. Now, it doesn't have computer chips, naturally.
Right.
But it might even touch on that. I haven't checked that out. But it's a wonderful book, and it's part of Volume 2 of The Survivor.
Okay, right. Yeah, I've got that. But what I was looking for was, you know how they electroplate things?
Oh, yeah.
The way this was explained, it's you basically reverse that process and cause the rust to come off of whatever it is you're...
Well, I don't know about electronics, but couldn't you just switch the things to the opposite way that you have them?
Well, that's what I was wondering, if you could just reverse...
Well, why don't you do it and see if it works, and then let me know.
Okay. And something else I was wondering if anybody might know how to make fish emulsion at home, like you use in your garden.
Well, I should suppose you just dry your fish and grind it up, maybe in your Corona grain mill, and put it on your garden.
Uh-huh. Okay, I'll have to try that too then. See if I can keep the raccoons away.
I don't know why. I don't think it'd keep the raccoons away.
I wonder if you could keep the raccoons away from it after you'd spread it, though.
Well, I'd make pets out of them.
Yeah.
That's the kind of guy I am.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, listen, I sure do appreciate it. I love your show, and I'm obtaining all your books. I've got all the Survivors and a couple of the James Bonds.
Did you subscribe to U.S. Militia yet?
Yes, sir. I absolutely have. And
do you like it?
I love it. If I had any complaint about any of your publications, it would just be that there's not enough of them.
Well, I'm doing my best to get them all out.
I realize that, and I mean that in jest.
Yeah. Well, be patient.
Right. It's just that it's such great material that it's just so hard to wait for.
Yeah. Well, it's just one of these things. It's the mail service, and they're doing a good job, but they have one heck of a load.
Yeah, they do.
And they earthquakes and floods, and it's a wonder they get it delivered at all. But anyway, just be patient, and all things come to those who wait, and especially if they work.
Right. Are you going to have any articles on maybe truck farming or anything like that in your Shoestring Entrepreneur?
I might. Okay, it's about that time.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, buddy. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Now it's sign-off time. I'll talk to you tomorrow. So this is Kurt Saxon saying goodbye and be good.